Hey y'all, welcome back to Straight Talk No BS. I'm Jay, I'm your host. It's Tanya right next to me.
Hey.
We have Taz down below, and we have Nate up in the right hand corner. How you ladies doing?
Okay.
Good. What's going on?
Shoot, nothing much. Y'all sound like y'all need a
I was
Red
just
Bull
about to
or
say,
something.
we all need an energy drink. What's going on, ladies?
Come on, ladies.
Look, Taz got us.
Okay. Y'all
All
got
right.
your Red Bull?
All right.
All right then. Well, y'all know what time it is then.
All right. What's on your
Today,
mind?
I want to start with Taz. Taz, what's on your mind? What's on your mind?
Jesus.
I got to start with you today.
Okay. And this. Oh my Lord. Okay. So you know how men always say, ladies don't do this, ladies don't do that, like ladies don't burp, ladies don't fart, right?
Okay. Right.
Okay. So I'm telling you, they always say ladies poo. Who the hell came up with that bullshit? We got the male or female, we got the same bodily functions. I don't know why this was on my mind, but it was. I think I know why. So, and I got to thinking, I don't know how they expect us not to have the same bodily functions. Our bodies almost do the same thing.
Right.
Okay. And then, and then I can't stand it when somebody say that. But then it went even further. Have y'all ever farted and it kind of smelled just a little bit and the smell go away, but then you get ready to go in there and take a piss and you see when you pull your pants down, that motherfucker seemed like it was just sitting in your drawers waiting on you to surprise you.
Shut up, Taz. What the hell be on your mind, man?
Oh my God.
Hey,
Oh my God.
hey, so
Ooh, wait a minute. I'm mixed up. What's the question?
Girl, have you ever?
No, I just asked the question. Have you ever farted? And hey, listen, bullshit.
Girl.
Bullshit. I know damn well everybody had this experience. Listen.
I don't know what you speak of.
Okay, lady. Hey, listen. So I was standing there and I let one go and I'm sitting up. I said, well, that don't make no damn sense. So I thought it was gone. You know what I'm saying? So I go in there to use the restroom. Girl, I pulled them goddamn drawers down. I said, that motherfucker was sitting right there waiting to surprise.
You are awful, girl. But real straight talk, though. I mean,
Why when you at somebody's house and when you go to the bathroom or at your own house and you got company and you do number two, soon as you get through, they got to use the bathroom.
Why is
they go in, baby, give it some time to air out.
You know, you just seen internet etiquette. There's supposed to be a common etiquette. You know what I mean?
You're supposed to just know. Don't go in there right now.
Wait, and then not only that, they know you've been gone for a minute. They know this. If for some odd reason they want to go in behind you. Or, hey, remember when y'all was little? I don't know about y'all, but for me, when I was little, I kid y'all not, I used to always think, if you fart in a tub, the water gonna cover the smell, right? Well,
ma'am.
Well, the thing of it is, I just never had a stinky one let out till, a little while later. All of a sudden, I let one go. Girl, that bubble busted.
I'm done with you. Taz, I'm so done with you, girl.
This is interesting.
I mean, this is what's on this fool's mind tonight. But you know what? That is it's like somehow or another people forget, or men, I guess you should say, forget that women are equal. Our bodies are the same. We're both human. Last time I checked. So hey.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like the only thing different that our bodies do that theirs don't. We have a cycle. That's it. We fart. We belch. We cough.
Do everything the same.
Everything. You know
We're
what I'm
supposed to be
saying?
held to a different standard, though. For instance,
Well,
we're not supposed to talk about pooping and farting and belching. We're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to
Let me-
cross our legs
you know
like
what?
ladies and bow and tutu and all that other extra feminine
Look at
stuff.
this.
Too
Let me tell you
much.
something. I'm not holding nothing.
You just nasty.
Girl, it just no.
You're nasty.
Hey, like my sister say, hey, it's better out than in. Once it's out, it's your
That's what
problem,
Shrek
not
says.
mine. See what I'm saying? It's a done deal.
Hey,
So,
well,
so
hey.
I have to ask the question. So, were you embarrassed to do the number 2 in front of your girlfriend when you first met her?
Wow.
When y'all first got into a relationship?
No, it was the other way around.
She was embarrassed.
She was in there. Okay.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Look at here. Baby, I'll be like, baby, I'll be right back. Hold that thought. And she'd be like,
Wow.
"You gotta take shit." Yes, I'm finna go. I'll be right back in just a minute. And so, when she knew when I was fixing to, girl, I grabbed that spray. When I knew when that
Pre-treat.
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all what I was always told. If you fart and it stink real bad, hey, it's skid right off the boo-boo. That means the boo-boo coming next.
And she got a scientific explanation for how it's supposed to be funky.
feel
Well, good Lord.
That
But
means that digestive system is working.
now, were you embarrassed? Because I don't think we've been together so long. I don't even remember an embarrassing period.
You was embarrassed?
Wait a minute. Let me correction. When we first got together, I was the shame one at first to even just body show any skin. This fool snatched everything. Now we finna be butt naked from day one. I'm like, what kind of crazy is this? But honey, now
I go to
we
bed
in that
naked.
thing now, honey. We in it all, like door wide open, all of that.
Everything,
So
talking and everything. Hey, be standing at the door, posted up. So, hey, what you got planned?
You don't know.
talking in the
Nah,
bathroom.
I'm not gonna lie. No, I don't like that.
Be in the bathtub.
I
Hey, girl.
cannot go if she's by the bathroom. If she's in the door,
Me on-
I cannot go.
me
If
on
she's
the
in the
other hand.
bathroom, I'll be like, get out.
I'm gone to town. Me on the other hand, hey,
Girl,
Nay,
get
what
in there,
about you?
get the talking and everything, and
We ain't having no conversation. We can't do that. You guys to get out.
I'll be trying, but Teresa tell me, she say, but I gotta concentrate. I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, and I just shut the door. I have to wait. But let her say something to me. Listen, me being there and she say something, I say, huh? I be trying to hear what she's talking about.
I'm just saying, like, there's no point in closing the door because it's inevitable. I'm gonna talk to you. You're gonna talk to me. We got to talk to each other. So leave the door open, there.
And see,
Nah, you don't need to talk to me while I'm doing all that.
Hey.
we got 2 bathrooms, so our bathroom is in our room. So, hey, look at here.
Hey. Now, you ever been in that situation? How open are you and Greg? You ever been embarrassed to do anything in front of him, or has he ever said anything to you?
I shit with the door open.
Just saying, girl.
Y'all just nasty.
Yep, we nasty.
Don't nobody want to smell all that. Y'all nasty.
Anyway,
Well, hey, you
women
gonna
are
say it anyway
equal.
when you drop it.
I'm just saying, women we're
Okay,
equal.
so
Men, they
that-
shouldn't look at us bad.
So that means that Judy. So that means that when she drop one, she ought to give a courtesy flush.
That's it. Flush while you're going. Spray in this.
Pre-treat.
Wait a minute. Spray in his hand. Pre-treat first.
Pre-treat.
But keep that spray in his hand. Flush.
So there is an
Spray.
etiquette to
There
it.
you
You get
go.
what I'm saying?
Cover it up.
Pre-treat the
Don't let
air
that shit
first.
out.
Yeah, there is an etiquette. Yeah, so.
Look, my favorite saying: "Cover it up like a cat." That's me. That's how I shit.
Hey, listen. Before we go on to the next person, have y'all ever seen that movie called "I Hope They Serve Beer in Hell"?
Oh,
No.
Okay, listen. Mind you, it's not a movie that I would just actually watch, but I happened to begin watching it one day, and so this dude and this girl, he was a real butthole. He always talked bad to women. Well, anyway, so this girl he was mean to her, so she took some eye drops and she put it in his beer. He was drinking that beer, girl, and so he met this other girl. The girl took his beer and she started drinking it. They make their way up to the room. Girl, they get in the room, they on the bed, and you know what I'm saying, finna get busy. All of a sudden her stomach went to rumbling, baby. She said, hold on. Hey, she ran to the bathroom. They in the hotel. Girl, wait, she done messed his. She came out of there. She done messed his bathroom up. Now his stomach rumbling. He can't go off in that bathroom. Girl, this fool went down to the lobby. Hey, and this fool was walking through the lobby with his hand behind there. All of a sudden,
no, ma'am, girl.
let's just say he left a trail all the way through the
That's
lobby.
nasty.
Hey,
That's horrible.
Hey, the housekeeper came and she had the broom. When he opened that door, she had the mop waiting on him. Say,
That's you dumb, Francis. I swear to God.
Nate, we going to you.
You and
What's
these
on,
movies, Taz.
Nate, what's on your mind?
You and
we going to go off of that. Nate, what's on your mind?
girl.
woo.
I think what's on my mind today is what happened to reaching out to friends and family and showing love and support. And what I mean by that is when you may be down about something, you may be going through something, or it might not be nothing wrong with you at all. But the only thing people want to do is to call you when they need something. What happened to the general courtesy of just checking on a person? We don't do that no more. We don't do that no more.
It seems like more and more these people are becoming so corrupt and self-absorbed. They only think about themselves, you know. They only call you when they hit that brick wall and they need a way. They're trying to find a way to over that wall or through that wall. So that's the only time you hear from them. And it seems like they always forget about who helped them.
I think that's one of the most important things that keep me grounded. I don't want to just call you because there is something that I need. I'm just calling to check on you, to give you a well checkup. I'm just calling to shoot the breeze with you. It ain't always got to be a give me situation. And I'm not saying that to say like I need something, but when we were kids, that was our way of being friends. If we wasn't at school on the playground, if we wasn't at the park, if we got out and communicated, and our families did too. There's no more block parties. There's no more go next door and ask Miss John Thomas, give me a stick of butter and take these 2 nickels.
Right?
It ain't no more of that. And then it's like when you try to teach young people that, they like, that don't make
what you mean.
And that's what I was about to say. Maybe it's us as parents not teaching our kids that.
Yeah. You know, and I will be the first to admit this. I am horrible at that. I will not lie, and y'all know this. I am very, very bad at that. I'm like bad at keeping in touch with people, and I don't know why, but I have it bad. My uncle will write me probably about 2 to 3 letters. It takes me damn near a whole month just to write 1 letter back. One. And it bothers me because I'm like, my uncle thinks that I don't care or I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to talk to him or something, but it's not that I'm bad about it. Today at work, I just told a young lady here, I'm bad with names. I forgot. This girl done said my name plenty of times. She works across the way from me. And every time she sees me, good morning, Francis. And I say, good morning, but I never say her name.
Okay, because you don't know her name.
I'm sitting there talking about, wait a minute, what's her name? Damn, let me think.
Right?
Tasha.
Yeah, and I thought of every name that I could think of, and it was never that name. Today, I finally said, please don't be mad at me. I said, but I'm horrible with names. And she looked at me, she said, it's Emily. I said, I feel bad. To me, it's a sign of disrespect because you know my name. You say my name every time you see me. And I have yet to say yours. And I told her,
that need to be on your to-do list to make sure that you do that.
Start contacting. And I mean, I think it's human because I find, like Judy said, that we get so caught up in our day-to-day lives.
Busy.
You know, that self-absorption, just being into ourselves all the time, we forget. But Nay, you were saying that it's more like people only call you or contact you when they're in need of something.
When they're in need. And what I mean by that is, you got people, they always is pitiful them. I can't do this. I can't do that. Somebody did this to me. I don't know why they do. Baby, quit looking for that. Go find out what's positive about your life instead.
Yeah.
Because if you just continue, they did this to me, she said this to me, he said this to me, you ain't gonna never grow and get nowhere because through all your mayhem of hell, somewhere in the middle of it, you got a positive spurt. You just got to take your time and find it. And I swear I preach that to my kids every day. When my daughter, God forbid, and she's out here watching, when she lost her kid, I can't feel that void for you. But something deep down inside of you, you have a positive era in your life. Don't let that hold you back. You got 3 other kids to raise. And I say that because I look at young people today and y'all ain't got no life. Y'all don't know how to live.
That's true too.
It's funny how these young kids nowadays are making families so soon. You know what I mean?
That's true.
I'm like, you haven't even had a chance to breathe and experience life. You ain't been nowhere but in the same country town.
Shut up, Judy. You throw me under the bus. Bitch, I got pregnant at 17.
Well, that's the
I
thing.
mean-
I mean, even my children, they started making families so early,
Really
and
young.
I'm like, why? When you have all of the world to see, you know what I'm
Live
saying?
your life for
when I
crying
was
out
young,
loud.
I traveled young, baby. When I tell you I was all over, you never knew where Judy was. I was all over the world, and I want my kids to have that same experience. But it's like you can't have that experience now that you have children. Now you're on a schedule; you have to be back.
That's true. You know, keeping in the spirit of what you said as far as people using you, I feel like I always say this saying that there's nothing wrong with networking, or I respect the next person's hustle, because that's what, everybody's entitled to do that. It's when you interject that negativity, that usury mode. You know what I'm
There
saying?
you go.
Why do you have to do that shadiness? That doesn't have to be involved in it. We can network together and help each other come up. There's no reason for the only reason you communicate with me or contact me is for some reason, something. Whether it's money, my sources, my whatever I can think of for you, whatever. Don't use me in the process of you trying to come up. That's unnecessary. So, like I said, I respect everyone wanting. Everybody wants to do something or gain or come up, but you don't have to use in the process. So,
Yeah, shady people, and that's sad. But I feel like I spend most of my time checking on everybody, and I'm too much helping them in their business to where I forget about myself. Yeah.
Okay.
What about you, Taz?
Which part we talking about?
You so crazy, girl. Now, just the fact that people always want to use, or the only, like Nay said, what's on her mind is that people contact for using purposes, or that she doesn't understand
what happened to people checking on each other.
Just naturally wanting to check on someone.
It's like you said. For one, people do, and I'm one of those people, do get caught up in what I have going on at home or at work and stuff like that. That I tend, and the sad part is all day long I'll be talking to myself, saying in my mind, do this and do that. You need to write this letter, or you need to see what's going on with the ladies and all this. It's on my mind to do it, but by the time I get ready to do it, I done been asleep, and it's time for me to get up and go back to work. And
it's a whole nother week.
Get me wrong. Now, and it makes me feel bad, and I'm just like, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And she's right. We have to stop, and it takes a couple of minutes. It takes a couple of seconds, really, to send a text and say, hey, how your day going? You know what I'm saying? It's a couple of seconds. And it's sad that, as people, we fall off from doing that. Like, we act like, shit, oh, they all right. You know what I'm saying? You just know
right.
They all right,
That's it.
And it's not that, and
sometimes
like
you just get caught up.
Yeah, it's like she said,
with our own lives busy.
We haven't, the teaching that to the kids.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Very true.
The first, this is what you see with them all day long.
Oh, that's it. That's it in the story. That's
what we talked about last week. That's their form of communication.
That's all they do. They're good for that.
And it's like, and the sad part is they tend to when they had that phone in their face. Ain't it funny how they big and bad and they could say whatever, but then as soon as they meet up together, it's like they have nothing to say.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, everybody's on hush. And another thing, they have to learn how to talk it out. That's another way of communicating, not just to say, hey, how you doing?
Actually have a conversation.
You gotta have a conversation.
Swalo says, it's straight bullshit. People check on who's important to them, and that's so true. Or either they check on people who they can get something from. If they can make a quick come up, or they're gonna gain something from that person, then they want to be in that person's life. They're calling that phone. You know what I'm saying? I've noticed a lot of people here lately been doing that. They've been ringing my phone lately.
I think when we start to step out of ourselves, seriously, like, evaluate, it's more to the world. There's more to life than just you yourself and what you got going on. So
it is.
You know what I'm saying? And just come wholehearted or forthcoming. Don't be sneaky about anything. I think
don't come with that shadiness.
You know what though? And sometimes, and like me, I tend not to check on, and this is the honest to God truth, I tend not to check on nobody. It's not that I don't care how important you are to me. You can be one of the most important people. and I still fall off on it.
Well, I can't tell you
And
how many people,
I've
like
done
just
it
this past
for years. You know what I'm
just this
saying?
past Easter, I didn't communicate with some of my family, and I'm like, man, I the next day I was like, okay, I'm gonna call them back, but somehow another 12 o'clock midnight came around. I was like, I can't call my dad. You know what I'm saying? It's too late. I know he old. He in the bed. So then the next day I come around. I have every intention in the morning, 10, 11 o'clock, sometime during the day to call, but I still haven't sent pictures. So
Okay,
anyways,
so
I'm
I'm gonna
just
say from now on, y'all need to start checking on your people.
Yes,
check on your
folk.
people. Make sure they still living and breathing.
Check on
Okay,
our family.
Tanya.
Y'all probably can't see this, but it's written in yellow, and it says to-do list. I just wrote that down.
All
Make
right.
sure.
Put on because it makes
And that's for
honestly, and it makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? This is stuff that should be common sense, should be
Right.
done.
there you go.
You know what
There
I'm
you
saying?
go.
But we tend to, like we said, we tend to get so busy.
Caught up, honey.
And it's
Yes,
sad
Lord.
that you have to make a to-do list. But I know
But-
if I don't write it down, I know me. It'll be
And
up here. It'll be up here to do it, but this will never do it.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
And I'm gonna say to the children too out there, your parents, if they're getting older, make sure you check on your parents.
Hallelujah.
Make sure you do that because a lot of kids nowadays they don't do that. Okay, Tanya, I'm going to you. What's on your mind?
Well, so the thing that's on my mind is something a recent post that I just saw. And Taz, I think you might be familiar with this one, but it was asking, is it so wrong for single mothers to protect their children from an inconsistent parent, whether it's the father or another female, just, whoever the other parent that's supposed to be responsible for the child? And so when I was reading the comments on it, people were divided, crazy, oddly enough. There was some that were saying, yes, it's wrong. The parent, whether it be the father or the other parent or whatever, yet they are who they are, and you owe it to the child to be in that person's life, period. So don't protect them from them. And then some were like, no, it's not wrong. That's your job as a mama to protect your child from the parent that's inconsistent. And it's crazy because I can understand that. I myself had one of my children. I saw the effects of the inconsistent parent, what it caused my child. You get what I'm saying? And to me, I was like, I will break somebody's neck to keep him from feeling that way. You get what I'm saying? So I understand as a mama wanting to protect your child from that. And then I can see on the other side, well, the parent is who they are. That is the daddy. That is the other mom or whoever. So yeah, you got to keep them in that person's life or keep trying to keep them in their life. So to me, I was like, when I saw that quote, I was like, man, that is something. Like, is it wrong? Is it wrong, ladies? Is that something?
Say, in my opinion, I feel like it is wrong. I feel like
to protect the child from an inconsistent parent.
You shouldn't take that opportunity from them to get to know their other parent. I feel like when they get old enough, they'll be able to make a decision on their own. That's the way I raised my child. I felt a type of way toward his mother, but still, I didn't embed that in his head.
Right.
I still told him, love your mama because that's your mama. You know what I'm saying? That's the only one you got.
Yeah.
I always love her. But when he got older, he was old enough to make his own decision whether or not he wanted to be in her life, and he made that decision.
But baby, y'all gonna have to pray for me. That's that Christian in me, but that nigga in me, cause you can only lie to mine one too many times, and my baby sitting up all night looking for your broke down dusty ass, and you don't show up, or you pop up at a birthday and you sitting
every blue
outside
moon
and you smoking your cigarette
versus
and
being
you ask me for a cup of coffee. I'm Sugar Avery on your ass. You can have some coffee.
Look.
You want coffee? You want this coffee? Or prime example, my son's father, who denied him in open court. It don't get no worse than that. You show up at the graduation and you ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. But this is the child you love. This is your firstborn child. So yeah. I'm on the fence about both of them. What I mean is, I didn't talk down about their fathers. I didn't. But I didn't sugarcoat a goddamn thing. No, baby, this is what your daddy said. This is what your daddy did. This is what time he did it. And so if you choose to still love that broke down motherfucker, then you go right ahead. Soon as they graduated, I ain't had nothing else to say to the daddy. Sandra them daddy called now. He know everybody in the goddamn obituary. We ain't got nothing to talk about. If we ain't talking about your grown ass kids and your young ass grandkids, we ain't got nothing to talk about. Because you was not a father. You was a sperm donor, and that's what I call them. I call them.
And that's it. Ovary donor too, because sometimes it can be the women too, honey. But anyway.
I'll say this. I'm on the fence about that too, simply because no matter how we feel about that other parent,
They still the parent.
they're still the parent. You know what I'm saying? Our feelings are our own. We have to deal with that parent accordingly. But it's like you do want to protect your child from the inconsistency, from the lies, from all the BS. At
Right.
the same time, it's like you don't want to keep them from that other parent. You want that child to make their own decision, as Jay said. The sad part about that is no matter what we do, whether we protect them, whether we be open with them, they still gonna be hurt.
Yeah.
So
You
it's like
know,
no matter what you do, they still gonna be hurt, because if you keep them away from them, they're gonna be hurt and missing that other parent
and
that they wanted to
wonder.
see that parent. Then if you don't keep them away from them, then they're gonna be sad and upset because they were told that this parent was
So
coming to
and
get
so's
them, and
coming and
yeah, you
didn't.
know what I'm
Yep.
saying. So it's like it's an iffy situation, and the only thing that I don't, I'm gonna be honest, I don't like I said a while ago, your feelings are your feelings about that parent. I don't advise the parent that has the child, whether it's the man or the woman, to talk down about that parent to the
Yeah. I
child.
think that's the. I
Only,
think
yeah,
yeah.
let that child. Those are your thoughts. That's
Discover
how
on their
you feel
own.
about them. Let that child make that decision on their own. You know what I'm saying? Don't help them with that decision, because
Yeah.
trust and believe. As they get older, they're going to see. They are going to see what it means to be inconsistent. They're gonna see the
And that's
lies. They're
it.
gonna see all the turmoil, and then they're
Oh
gonna say,
yeah.
you know what? I ain't got time.
And then you've
You
done your
know?
job, and you're safely as a parent or the consistent parent. You've done your job of what you could
Oh,
do.
oh yeah, and then the
So
inconsistent
Yep.
yeah,
parent
I
is the
agree.
one. The inconsistent parent is the one that's going to have to worry about when you go to finally want to have a relationship. Why that child has that attitude? Why that child don't respect you?
Hey,
Why
that's
that,
on
you
them
know what
though.
I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm. All right, Jay.
yeah.
Okay,
So
but
it's
Suelo says, what if it's both?
both of the parents
What
are
if it's
in.
both parents that are inconsistent?
Well, then that
Hey,
means
Call
that
CPS.
or you
You
know some you,
don't.
but you know what?
Call the people. Call the
But
people.
sometimes you do have it that way. The child is with the
Yeah.
grandparents. You know what I'm saying? So
Instead
you
of the
have,
mom or the
yeah,
dad.
and
Yeah,
you both,
definitely.
and it still goes the same. The only thing that the grandparents can do is love
The
you.
same.
The same thing that one of the parents would do if if the roles were reversed.
That's the truth, because
You
that's
know.
that, and that's becoming lot more prevalent now. You know, a lot of you find that a lot of people or youngsters are saying, "Yeah, I was raised by my grandma. My
Oh
grandmama
yeah.
raised me."
I want to go back to this comment.
So yeah, go back to Sandra.
I'm gonna go back to this comment that I didn't read earlier. This is Sandra. She says, I try to equal it out, level myself out. I reach out to everybody. This is when we were talking about we need to reach out to people and check on people, see how they're doing. Don't just come around when you're in need or need something. Okay, she says, I reach out to everybody, even if they don't reach out to me. Off topic, but you never know what someone is going through and or when it's their time to go. I do my best to extend my love and check on everybody.
Amen,
Good.
Sandra.
That's good.
Amen to
Because
that. Very
it's so
nice.
many young kids now that are her age. She's in her 20s. They don't even check on mama and daddy. You know what I'm saying? For some reason in their mind, they think that their parents are invincible. You know, we're going to live and we're going to be here forever.
And that's
You know what I'm
it.
saying? Okay, and
Yeah.
Sandra, she says, I just lost a classmate a few days ago. To think she was young, healthy, and beautiful. She says, then boom, we wake up to a rest in peace post. She says, very sad.
Ain't that crazy?
Yep. Well, Sandra,
That is
keep
something
reaching out and
really-
making sure.
That's
Yep.
something I truly, truly, truly instilled in my kids. They, like you said, they are grown, but I make my kids check in with me day in and day out. Don't let something happen and I can't get to you or I don't know your whereabouts, and it actually bothers their adult mates. Like, why you calling your mama? You calling your
Yeah.
mama?
Wow.
That is so
Yep. That's
funny that
something.
Cynthia that you said that. How I just simply said that I don't never reach out to nobody. And when I said I need to clear that up, meaning anybody outside of my household, because I'm like Cynthia. My youngest one been gone all night. You think I didn't? Hey,
Where you
you
at? What
good?
you doing? Where you at?
You
Yeah.
know, he had told me he was leaving, but I didn't hear from him when he got there. You good? I do it with Zay when he get off of work. Hey, You good, son? When I know that he should be on his way home or something like that, I know he
Just
then got
checking
out.
in.
Yeah, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not because, and I had to explain to them, I'm not trying to run your life. Please don't take it that way. And I tell them it's just that if something happened, I need to know where I'm headed to.
That's it.
Yep.
I need to know in what direction to go. If you tell me you over in College Station and you over here on this street, I know to go that way. You know what I'm saying? Or even if I ask you what route you taking home. Because if something happened, I know which
I
route to
need
go.
to
I
know.
know, yeah, I need to go that same route.
All right, y'all. So now I guess y'all want to know what's on my mind. I'm gonna make it quick. I'm gonna make it quick because we got to get into our next topic. But this is what's on my mind.
The one thing you can get into shape without exercise.
Exercise.
I just want to know why all these women getting these damn eyebrows tattooed on their damn face. They got eyebrow tattoos. I'm not talking about
You
permanent
just now
tattoos.
seeing that?
I'm talking about, girl, yes. I seen that girl sitting up there in the chair laid back. She got the,
Ain't got a stitch eyebrow.
Ain't got a stitch eyebrow up there.
But then,
After
Judy, they get the eyeliner tatted in there.
I'm not talking about no baby. I'm
No,
not
not
talking
no-
about permanent. I'm talking about those fake tattoos.
What?
Baby, yeah, like
The one where
the
you
ones
dab
that
the
you get out of the
water.
bubble gum machine.
and you put the water on it. You put the water on it to get it to stick on.
You know, you dab it up and then you smooth it like this. Yeah, I seen one girl
hold
get some
on,
eyebrows
Judy.
tattooed on. First, she was bald, and after they got through, she was looking like she had McDonald arches.
No, they didn't look like McDonald arches. They looked like these. Like
Hey,
y'all, they were
hold
on.
on, Judy. Are you talking about them little tattoos like you said you get out the bubblegum machine?
Girl,
hey,
yes.
remember when you were little, you licked it and then stuck it.
Okay,
Don't tell me they licked
that's
it.
what
Judy,
I'm
you
talking
really
about.
seen that today?
Yes, baby. Yes.
Judy,
Look,
time
mine
time. You
is
look
real,
at this. I
y'all.
said,
Mine is real. These is real. They not.
And that's the
what you
thing.
say,
Hers looked real.
they looked flawless, y'all. And had the
Like I said, the one thing that you can get into shape.
And what's crazy is they were
Without
selling
exercise.
those tattoos.
They were what?
They selling those tattoos,
them.
those
Like
eyebrow tattoos.
Like you can go buy you some lashes, you can go buy you some
But
eyebrows.
you know what, Judy? You bring that up. This is what I want to know then. If you were going to go get that stuff put on your, what is the purpose of even cutting your eyebrows off? When you cut them off, I figure you don't want them. This is like a man going bald. He gonna cut all his hair off because he don't want it no more. So I'm taking it.
Sometimes people lose their
that's what-
eyebrows because of health issues. You know,
Either because they keep shaving them off, and
Or
they
they
don't grow
done
back.
shave- yeah,
they
you
done
done
shaved them off
damaged
so
the
many.
follicles.
What
Yeah.
about
So,
the ones
in
that
other
put
words-
the pencil on, y'all? What about the ones with this makeup and they be like this big?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Nay, we ain't gonna.
I'm talking about them ones that look like arches, like McDonald arches. That's what I'm talking about. Be way up here on their forehead,
Like you know better.
And then,
Y'all know that they
and the
know
whole
better.
time I'm trying to figure out what they thinking about.
What's that? Huh?
Hey, they be
Say what?
running around talking about
Okay.
Hey,
you doing?
listen. And so that means
We ain't
that
no good.
when they wash it off, they walk around looking like Mr. Potato Head, huh?
I'm done with y'all. We gonna get off them people with them. Look, but the whole crazy part.
That was a shock to me to see that.
You can purchase eyebrows, and then how they put them on with a little dab. Look, they put the strip on, placed it nice and pretty. No, wait, conditioned the skin too. It was all, had the skin
Had it all
condition. And then they
moisturized.
put the strip on, and then they took that dab of water on a little cotton ball and did this number right here, girl.
And took it off, baby. She
And
had
it peeled it
eyebrows.
off, buffed it out, and baby, they look
She got all off in the camera.
freshly tweezed, honey. When I tell
I said,
you.
all right then.
So if y'all need some,
child.
y'all need some eyebrows, honey. They
Yeah, that's
sell
right.
them.
You ain't got to be bald no more.
Nope,
Don't
they got
be
it.
bald.
They got it
They
for
got
you.
they got the eyebrows for you. All right, y'all. We're gonna move on to our next topic.
Quotes from a very famous song.
Was that a prayer? Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. First off, we want to say prayers go up to DMX. Man,
His family.
I'm sad about this one. I mean, he's still here with us, but I'm still sad about it, knowing that, this happened to him. DMX, one thing about him, I always thought of him like as a poet, somebody like Tupac or something. You know what I mean? He
Definitely.
always had something to say, something positive. He everything. Nowadays when you listen to rap, it's not really telling a story. I ain't gonna say that's a story. It's the same story over and over. But when you listen to DMX, he always had a story to tell about his life. If you listen, and he always kept that close relationship with God. No matter how his life was or whatever life that he led, he kept that close relationship. And he wasn't afraid to go and pray for a stranger.
That's the crazy thing. You know what? For someone, I guess maybe people wouldn't instantly look at someone and think that he was so religious, but he is. And I want to say this: everybody's acting because out of all the posts that I've seen, the stories that we've watched on TV or read or whatever, everyone's acting like this man is gone. He's not gone. He is still here and he's still fighting for he's fighting. You know what I'm saying? And people need to start giving the prayers. And I mean, there is so much love everywhere. So I'm not saying people aren't. But
what happened to it while he was okay?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say that he was actually okay. Allegedly, he was on drugs or whatever. But when he's out there and he's having a hard time and he's on these drugs, where was everybody at with that support and love? You know what I'm saying? Like they say, don't bring me my flowers when I'm in the grave. I'm like, where was his support system? It's like rappers nowadays. It's like there's no support system. You know what I mean? It's like once they're out of that rap game, then they go back to the hood.
Well, I think what it is that because entertainers when they are put up on a pedestal, they tend to hide what they're actually going through behind closed doors, because I think people look at them as, oh, you know what I'm saying, they got all the money, they shouldn't have no problems, when they don't realize that they do. You know what I'm saying? They do have problems. And then you got to remember, they have an image to uphold. So they don't want nobody knowing that they're battling with drugs or they're battling with, depression, or they
any
have
kind
thoughts
of
suicide. Yeah,
issues.
because people put them so high on this pedestal that it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're not supposed to feel, they're not supposed to go through anything. And they forget that they are human just like we are.
Just like we are.
So it's like all the ones that put that person up on that pedestal also need to be the same people that's there when they fall. Don't criticize them. Don't,
help
them and all that.
them.
You got to be there to help them.
That's the thing. When you say don't criticize them, a lot of people don't realize it's not the person, it's the addiction that's taken over. We have to blame the addiction. It's like a disease. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy. It's hard enough to get off just cigarettes. You know what I mean? And he had a circle. So whoever was in that circle, they should have gave that support. They shouldn't have backed off. You know what I'm saying? Don't back off just because that person is saying not accepting your help. Stay there. Push hard. Give that support and love, because that support and love is like a form of medication.
Not only true. That, the other thing you got to think about is, you like you said, he had that circle, and it seems like maybe they backed off. But what if they pushed and pushed and pushed, and maybe he's a whole different person when he's on the drugs, that they just like, you know what I'm saying? Giving them what they want, because you got some managers, and you know what I'm saying, that travel with these people, that if you don't give them what they want, they tend to lash out. But and it could be that, like, even his wife, you know what I'm saying, it's like, what all these people, they could have been his support system, but you got to remember, when he's not around them, you know what I'm saying, because I'm pretty sure he's not around those group of people on every minute of the day. So he had to slip off at some time. You know what I'm saying? So
that's true.
I'm gonna go to the. I'm sorry, Francis. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, even with you having people around you that support you, if you want it, you're gonna find a way to get it without them even knowing.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, without them knowing.
It's easy to say famous people, rapping, actresses, and all this and that. They have the money to get the help. But the one thing that my mother taught me at a very young age, until they want it within themselves, I don't care what type of help you give them. I don't care what type of support you give them. Until they're ready to clean up their life, they're not going to do it. And I've been watching DMX just like everybody else. And I don't listen to today's rap. God forgive me. I don't got nothing against nobody. But all that, I don't understand all that, so I don't listen to it.
Girl, you
But
dumb.
Tupac, DMX, I mean, Master P, all them, I used to listen to all them. I could get it.
That's right. That's right.
A lot of DMX hell and problems that he went through throughout his life, if you listen to the lyrics, that's all he talked about.
He shared it with everyone.
He was not one of those young teenagers out there trying to sell drugs, or even though he did, God forgive me. But when he got into that lifestyle, a real live adult gave him dope and he was only 14. He gave him some money to count. He counting the money. He counting the money. And in turn, he told him to hit the blunt. But in that blunt was crack cocaine. It's in one of his lyrics. And the man that gave him the dope, which I will not say his name because I don't know him personally, but that man was 39 and DMX was 14. That's when DMX got actually introduced to drugs. And I got not only am I saying it, but I got the facts to back it up. So if you don't believe me, go look on my page. He actually speaks about it to some news people or radio people or whatever, and it just broke me down. Not everybody with money go looking for drugs. Sometimes those addictions that they have
are brought to them. That's a good point, Nate. That's a very good point.
It was brought to me when I was in Miami. I told that story. Somebody gave me a joint, and I didn't smoke weed, and they told me to smoke it. I didn't know that it was laced with crack. The only thing I knew, I went to work the next day, and I was craving something. Now, if I would have figured out what that something was then, right then and there, maybe I would have been addicted. I don't know. But I caught the dude later putting the crack inside the weed. So, I was one of the lucky ones.
Judy, it's funny that you said that you caught him later. DMX said in that interview he didn't find out until later that this dude laced this joint or blunt, whatever they were smoking at that time when he was 14. He found out much later that this 39-year-old man who he looked up to laced a joint with something that he had no control over. Now, unlike my mom, God forbid, if my brothers is watching, I apologize. Unlike my mom, like she said, they can introduce you to it, but they can't make you do it. It's your choice to do whatever you choose to do.
That is very true. And go ahead, Francis.
No, I was going to say, I think if they offer it to you and you take it, not knowing what's in it, I think that's a whole different ballgame. It's one thing if I hand you a blunt, you see what I'm saying, and you think it's just weed in it, but I don't put something else in it. You not knowing, so all of a sudden you become addicted. You think you addicted to weed, but that same high ain't the same high you had when I gave it to you. You see what I'm saying?
And you wonder why you searching for extras to find to support what you thought was just the one thing. Yeah. No, honey, it was much worse than that. More than that, one thing that really through this, I guess I've seen it or kind of felt it through different celebrities that I follow, is that people are human. They're human just like us. They go through the same situations. But I saw a story about DMX trying to connect with his one of his sons. He has many children, but him in trying to reach out to his son, it was like hearing the conflict that the two of them had, the breakdown, the son wanting the dad. He was like to admit some of the things that he witnessed. He thought he had some infidelity against his mom.
He was being disrespectful to his mom by going out kissing other women on the lips and so forth and so on.
And so hearing that, the son was hurt because, he felt like his dad was not there. Or he wasn't able to communicate with his dad. And then DMX, him being a very proud man, felt like it was hard for him to just admit those things or to come to him. He's like, I gave you everything. I supported you. You can't tell me that I didn't love you, that you didn't feel my love. And I gave you every part of me and I did the best that I could. He said, I didn't know not one person that had a dad. So he was like, I raised you the best way that I could, not knowing what a father figure was. And that touched me, that hit me. I was like, God, we was snotting. It was like, that is real people's shit. You get what I'm saying? Real parents, real stuff. And I'm like, that's crazy.
But it's funny that you say that again, Tanya, because I hit on that as well. You can't expect, and this is for anybody watching, you can't expect a mother or a young father to instantly know what to do if they wasn't brought up in that cycle. If they had to fend for themselves and figure out how to take care of themselves at 12 and 13 and 14 years old, but yet you were raised in a house, whether by two parents or a single mother who gave you nothing but love, but the person that you chose to give your life to, your body to, your spirit to, you go off and you have a kid with this person, but they don't know how to raise a kid. They not grown their damn self.
Yeah.
I had to learn that myself for my kids' dad. Yeah. You know why y'all some deadbeats? Because y'all don't know how to be men. Y'all didn't have real men to stand up in your life and teach you how to be a man and teach you how to be a father and teach you how to the morals and the principles and the values that you should hold. And DMX talked about that too. His mother wasn't on drugs. His mother was not on drugs, but she was so caught up into women. That's on my page too. That is definitely
It makes
well,
she was so caught up into men. She was so caught up into being with men. She didn't want to be a mother.
but
well,
it
I'm gonna say
definitely
one of the things
humanizes
that touched me about that whole thing with his son and him, their relationship, is that the son was like, "I want a relationship with you, Dad, but it has to be with conditions." In DMX, he was like, "No, there's no conditions. There's no conditions when it comes to love,
unconditional,
and yeah, And I agree with him on that. The son shouldn't have gave him no conditions, but the sad thing about it was those words that he spoke when he said, "Son, I'm sorry. We won't have a relationship. I'll just see you when I see you, but I love you. I know you love me." And the sad part was when he said, "I guess I see you at my funeral."
and you're like, oh,
That's
God.
what, yeah.
That was
How can
like,
you love somebody with conditions, y'all? How is that real love?
it's not possible. Now, see, the thing is with that, when we watched that and we were listening to the situation, yes, love is unconditional. So with that being said, you also don't have the right to tell a person how to live. Like you said, when he chooses to get off of whatever, that's his time to choose to do that. So the son didn't have a right to tell Daddy, you need to stop this or we can't have a relationship. What needed to have been said is we will respectfully respect each other.
That's right.
I'll
Just
deal with you
just
on your
live, and
time.
I see you when I see you.
That's just it. Don't say that in order to have a relationship.
He probably didn't agree with how his son was living his life. But he didn't say, "We're not going to have a relationship if you don't change."
Period.
Yeah,
so
just respect the differences and live. And that's advice to anybody.
Yes.
Now I'm wondering, what is his son thinking at this moment? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is going through his mind?
The same thing that everyone thinks when their parent gets to that spot where they're in a hospital bed. The if, shoulda, woulda, coulda. There's something else I could have done. What could I have said? Maybe I shouldn't have said what I said. All of that. You know what I'm saying?
Funny that y'all say that, because I look at the people now that my mother smoked dope with, but their life is clean today. They're clean. No drugs, no alcohol. They go to church. They Mormons, whatever you want. They chose to live a different life, not a better life, but a different life.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother taught us at a young age, she wasn't ready. She lived her life the way she chose to, the way she wanted to.
And everyone has that right.
And when people wake up and realize that, for people with addiction, and it's not just drugs, even though they look down on people with crack and coke, and alcohol is an addiction, right? Cigarettes is an addiction. When we was in school, that's all they
food. Food is an addiction. You understand?
And I'm gonna say, don't hold grudges or any animosity for anything. How a person lives their life.
Yep.
If anything, try to help them get past that addiction. Life is too short, and we all are standing in line, and we don't know when our time card is gonna be punched. So it's best to try to love while you can and love hard. Because we don't know what news we're gonna wake up to, or if we are gonna wake up.
And which is true. And they said this is not his first time. In 2016 he was found in a hotel parking lot unresponsive due to an overdose, and they said he actually at the time had no pulse. You know what I'm saying?
I remember reading that.
Yeah, I heard about that. And the surprising thing to me is who's walking around with Narcan to reverse drugs.
Okay.
That was sort of mind-boggling to me. I'm like, who walks around with Narcan in their pocket to reverse that drug?
They said it was a medic that was on. I guess that somebody had found him. I don't know how it actually went, but it was just said that there was a medic on hand that administered the Narcan. You know what I'm saying? And the drug that they said was the effects of a heroin overdose.
That just makes me say that somebody in his circle, that I believe that medic was a part of his circle. If you're walking around with Narcan in your
That's
pocket.
like Michael Jackson,
Yeah,
guys.
just like Michael
he
Jackson.
had that doctor in his pocket to help him with what he needed. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, DMX said in some interview or whatever that fame is a monster.
And that's so
And
true.
so it's
No,
like
ooh,
so
it's
many
yes.
people, so many celebrities, like we've discussed, you're put on such a higher pedestal. You're looked at with such higher regard. You have to live a certain way. It's almost like that's a whole different type of responsibility that most of us don't live with. Always being scrutinized. We're in the public eye. Every part of our life is no longer private. So it's hard. And then not to mention you have to meet the demands of whatever.
How about just going on stage in front of everybody?
That's what I'm talking about.
When you're
Just
going on
that.
stage and you're
So-
going to perform and the spotlight is on you, you know,
That's
it's easier sometimes for them to be high
Or
to do
under
it.
some kind of
And
influence.
And then the drug addiction just get worse and worse
Which
because
is-
now they need
Yeah,
more.
because they said,
That's
because
human, though.
They say that, you know, being in that entertainment industry, you know, not only is it hard work, but you know what I'm saying, it drains you because you got to
Takes a
remember
toll
people,
on you.
Yeah, because people are up night after night after night. You know what I'm saying? So they trying to get this record done. They trying to get all these songs finished. So they need something to stay up. You see what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
So
That's it.
it starts little by little.
But isn't that...
and
Oh,
it
go ahead,
says,
Frank.
and it was saying, you know, like, which you brought up, like y'all brought up Michael Jackson, and it just said that he was seen on video dancing along to the Michael Jackson's Heartbreak Hotel just 5 days before, you know, he landed in the hospital. You know what I'm saying? The fact that y'all brought up Michael Jackson and the fact that, you know, he 5 days before that, he's listening to it, he's jamming out to it, you know, and probably, you know, it wasn't on his mind to get to where he is right now. You know what I'm saying? He's just thinking,
No
oh,
one's
I'm just having
intention.
fun. No, you know.
But it makes me
thing.
really just say that celebrity, isn't that us anyway? Just because they're having to cope in the way that they are on a stage, but isn't it almost us? Period. Like coffee. You get what I'm saying? I know I drink coffee when I know I have a deadline or I have something important to do and I have to stay up and I can't go to sleep. What am I doing? I'm running to my coffee. So I mean, it's that this human. It makes it human. Makes celebrities or people in these situations relatable. We should be able to relate. And with that being said, people that are surrounding these celebrities, hopefully they can step outside of dealing with celebrity life stuff and remember to be human and how we are supposed to interact with each other. Not saying
I felt like they should have got the lesson the first time that he fell out. The first time that he fell out and he was given a second chance, somebody should have intervened. Somebody should have stepped in. His support circle should have got tighter and embraced this man. That's what I feel.
We don't know this man's life, right? We don't know his support circle. We don't know who's been there for him and who hasn't. We don't know that. But to see what's going on is something that makes you say, I feel and understand. I feel like, dang, y'all. I don't know about y'all.
I lost my brother the same way. You know what I'm saying? He was he had a drug addiction. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it was bad. He went to every rehab from different states, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? But it never helped. He even had to have open heart surgery. It still didn't sink in that, hey, I'm running out of time. So eventually he went to the trap house and he hit that last rock. When he hit that last rock, instant heart attack. Died right then and there. Had a smile on his face when he died. Though,
when you say that you had, so your family member. Now we've talked about the person not wanting to change until they're ready to change, and then we've talked about family staying in the support circle or system with that person to try to stay on top of them and to help them.
I believe in doing that because maybe it'll just spark some kind of faith inside that person, that drug addict. Maybe to say that somebody really does care about me because they're still here. They haven't left me. So maybe I need to do something different. But we gotta start with these celebrities, these hip hop rappers and whatever. We need to form some kind of union, some kind of way to where they'll have somebody to help them after their career is over. They feel like, oh, there's nothing else to do, so they're heavy on these drugs. You know, just like the NBA. What do? They become a commentator. You know what I'm
Some
saying?
of
They place them in a different position. We need to do that with hip hop artists instead of, like I said, letting them go back to the hood. They just back in the hood now, doing the same thing that they used to do.
Some of them do come out though, Judy. Some of them do come out because I don't know his last name, but the man, Uncle Charlie,
Charlie Wilson.
yes, he was heavy on crack and coke, really, really, really bad, and he bounced back from it. Some of them do come out. We're not on here displaying like they don't bounce back. Some of them.
No,
do.
I'm saying that there needs to be some kind of union formed, some kind of support group, something
after
to help these people. It's like the rappers, they're making all these industries all this money. Can't y'all put something in place for the rappers to help them? I mean, you getting rich off their money.
And you know the other thing, I think also the worst ones though that it hits harder sometimes I think is when you take your children and put them in that industry at a very young age.
When you're really young, I think definitely because you don't know how to deal with that type of fame or that type of success. You don't.
And but you also have grown people who still don't know how to deal with it. They may feel comfortable on the stage, but now they got a whole world, you know what I'm saying, that demands their appearance, that demands music from them, and they don't know how to handle it. You know, and like we said earlier, it takes a toll on them because they have people that they have to please and they don't know how to juggle it. They don't know how to, they don't know how to handle that pain.
I'm gonna say this. I was reading somewhere that everybody in the hip hop community is definitely really supportive and showing their love, and a lot of them are reflecting back on times that he's been in their life. And one was like, "Man, I was ill, sick, in the hospital, really, really at a bad place." And he was like, he prayed for him and felt that anointing in him because his belief is so strong. And I have to say, if he can hear us, if Str8 Talk finds its way into DMX's circle some kind of way, you keep fighting because everybody still needs that connection because for some reason, he has that spirit in him.
Some people are touched, some people are anointed.
And the world still needs to have a part of that, and his family, his children, everybody, so we are pulling for you. Like, and to me, in my spirit, when I keep hearing all of this, I'm like, you have to come back. You have to wake up and you have to come on because you still have more to give. I know I'm not Jesus, I'm not God, but I'm just saying.
I think, go ahead. I was going to say, I think that, I don't know, being that he's in a vegetative state and they say that he still has no brain activity. So I'm wondering.
He has some brain activity, some very small.
Yeah, I guess because it was just saying that, and this was posted not too long ago. It just said that I take that back. It said it showed no improvement. That's what it was. It was showed no improvement. My bad.
Being in the medical field, it's really hard to hear this stuff because we already know, but we're still, And
it said that Master P said that like you said, Judy. It says Master P said that that heart attack could have been avoided, and he was saying that he called for better education and a union for the hip hop artists. You know what I'm saying, after DMX. So it's like it's already started. That's what he's trying to do.
That's good. Education. That's right.
Mm-hmm. And I think it doesn't even have to be just with hip hop. It needs to be with anybody in the entertainment industry.
Well, that's what I was saying. In the NBA, they have it. In the NFL, they have it. In all of these organizations, they have it. So except for when it comes to hip hop.
So
you don't have
industry.
It.
Okay.
Yeah.
That definitely
so we need to put that in place.
I hope.
Like you were saying, when you're in the medical field, you know what it's about. You know the outcome.
This type of stuff, you're like,
it's sad.
Okay, but
we're gonna still say that God is the higher power.
That's it. Period.
So we're gonna keep the faith and we're gonna keep praying for the family.
Yes.
And we're gonna keep on hoping and praying for a miracle. And
y'all don't wait till someone is in a bed before you reach out to your family. Don't want something before you call them. You know what I'm saying? Be around them. Be supportive. Don't look down on people who may have some kind of addiction because it's not them. They're in something. Yeah. So hopefully somebody got something out of this. And if you're struggling with something, keep faith. Like, I don't even know.
That's it. If you're struggling, you have some kind of addiction, keep faith and
That's just human. Don't be so
Reach out
hard
for
on
help.
yourself. You know what I'm saying? What I mean? Hey, put your pride down and realize you're human. We're all human. We understand.
And let's all just start loving one another while we're here on this earth, because we're here for such a short time. So make sure that you love everybody.
And all I want to say, last thing to say,
Yeah, go ahead.
oh, okay, is just a quick prayer, real quick for DMX and his family. Just want to say, dear Heavenly Father, I hope and pray that you cover this family, bring him out of this, because the world is not, you're not done with him yet. We're not done with him yet. We need him. We need to hear his voice again. We need him to show his face. He has a kind and caring spirit. He's here for a reason. And it's not, I don't believe it's his time. I know you don't want to take him home just yet. Dear Heavenly Father, please guide this family and make them strong. Cover them in your blood. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Right now, in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
All right, y'all. This has been Straight Talk, no BS. We love y'all. Y'all have a good night.